The credit repair industry as we know it is being replaced. There are things that are changing in the credit repair space in the industry that everybody really does need to know about. The industry is shifting for so many reasons with the rise of artificial intelligence. Regulators like the FTC and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau are starting to really apply pressure to the industry. Lenders and even consumers are getting smarter about credit. And so, as we move into a new year, there are some things that I think we should talk about today so that you can be aware and you can make the right decisions for you because credit repair is no longer going to reward the behaviors that it used to. Instead, it's going to start rewarding strategy, education, and integrity. Because what used to work, the gimmicks and the shiny object, is not going to fly anymore. And so today's episode is not really about fear, but it's more so about preparing you for what's next so that you can be even more successful with your credit in 2026. And so the first thing that I'm seeing and the first change, right, in the market that I'm seeing is that these traditional credit repair companies are starting to become obsolete. Now, think Lexington Law or creditrepair.com. These are major, huge companies in the credit repair industry that have actually been sued by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau for misleading customers. And they recently, in fact, had to pay out $1.8 billion to customers that were affected by their tactics, their marketing schemes. And this is what I would call a traditional credit repair company. Now, a traditional credit repair company is what I call a letter pusher. Letter pushers are companies that are all about bringing in volume with customers, not necessarily focused on service. They're not focused on like really giving their customers top notch level service that they can really feel good about. I know this because over the last 10 years in this industry, we've had so many people that have moved from these traditional credit repair companies to come work with us because we do things very differently here. Now, and I know this for a fact also because I used to be a letter pusher. When I first started in credit repair, I started off with helping people with repairing their credit to buy homes. I was trained by somebody that taught me how to get started in the industry. And the method really was to get as many people as I could paying me $99 a month. That was the philosophy. And although it worked monetarily wise, or it made a lot of money, but the problem was that I wasn't really helping people. I didn't feel like I was, though, uh, long term speaking. Like we were helping people buying homes, we were helping people raise their scores. That was great. But the problem that I had was that some of these people were coming back to us, paying us again for the same problem. And that didn't make me feel good. It made me feel like I'm just taking your money, but I'm not really helping you. And so that's how I ended up getting into the educational space because I didn't like taking money from people for the same problem over and over again. And that's how our education, smart credit education was even born, was because I didn't want to be just this traditional letter pusher that was just signing up clients, not really caring about the results we were producing. I wanted to be somebody that really helped somebody have a real transformation. And not only that, with the rise of artificial intelligence, people don't need that anymore. People don't need letter pushers. You can get a letter pusher using AI software. There's plenty of AI softwares out here that will create dispute letters for you and help you send them out automatically. But that's not really what credit repair is. Credit repair is so much more than sending out dispute letters. And so if you're a company or a professional that's not educating your clients on what credit repair actually is, the process, the system for credit repair, their rights that they have when it comes to credit repair. You're not really serving your clients. And also for people that's looking to hire somebody to help them with their credit, like pay attention. Look to see, is this person a letter pusher or is this person a professional? And you can tell very quickly the difference between the two. Letter pushers are people that are just trying to get you in on a subscription. They're trying to get you in really quickly. They don't provide a lot of insight or support before you get started with them. A professional is going to do a deep dive to see, can I really help this person? What is this person's current financial circumstances? What are their challenges? What does success look like for them? Why is this even important for them right now? These are the things that really matter when people are making decisions, especially when they're making decisions about their finances. Credit is too important of a subject to just let it just be, right? Just to give it to anybody. I learned that lesson the hard way. I had hired somebody before to help me with my credit right before I got started in this industry. I paid him $800 to help me with fixing my credit so that I can become a homeowner for me and my two kids. And I paid him his money and I never heard from him again. And it was just, a horrible experience to have because you don't make money to pay money to not get results. And so that's how I got into the industry because I got scammed and I didn't want anybody else to get scammed either. And so if you're thinking, hey, should I start a credit repair company and should it be traditional? I'm going to let you know you should probably rethink that because the industry is changing rapidly and letter pushing, that traditional credit repair model is coming to a halt. They're coming to an end, my friend. All right. And so the next thing that I'm seeing too is when you have agencies like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau or the FTC that are getting involved with how the industry is conducting business, that throws up a lot of like alarms. I don't know if y'all heard about this, but Lexington Law and creditrepair.com got sued like 2 years ago. And they end up having to pay out $1.8 billion to customers that were affected by their deceptive marketing and sales tactics. Now, this is a huge company that was sued by a government body for illegal tactics they were using to get people on their letter pushing service. And so when you have entities like this that are getting involved with regulating an industry, then it goes to show you how important the industry is, first of all, and second of all, how people are being affected. Because credit affects everything, right? It affects getting a house, it affects getting a car, it affects sometimes even getting a job, it affects future opportunities. And so when you have companies that are preying on people that are having financial troubles, that is a problem. And so moving forward, I'm seeing that certification is going to separate the professionals from the hustlers. We certify people here at Smart Credit Solutions. We certify coaches and consultants so that we can have reputable people with integrity to help others with their credit. Because sadly, there are too many hustlers out here that are just trying to get a quick buck. They're just trying to capitalize on people's pain. They're trying to capitalize on people's desperation. And that doesn't serve anybody. It just makes the industry look bad. And so there needs to be a governance. It needs to be a process of certification so that not any Joe Schmo can just get into the industry and call themselves a quote unquote expert and scam people out of their hard earned money. So I do see this, like this is going to start happening more and more. People are going to expect, and you should expect as a consumer, you should expect people that to be professionals. You should expect people to be certified. You should expect people to show up with credentials that prove that they are qualified to help you with your credit. All right. So certification and these governing bodies, they are going to start being a huge deal because credit and finances it's just too big of a topic and subject to be ignored and to just be open to anybody to get into the space. Next, strategy. Okay. Now, remember when I told you I used to be your letter pusher? So that means that I didn't really have a strategy back then. I just knew that I could help you get these collections off your credit, or I could help you get these late payments off your credit. I could help you get these negative marks off your credit reports. But I didn't really have a methodology or strategy. And most companies don't. Most companies are just TikToking their way to success. Most people do not have a philosophy, they don't have a strategy. And strategy is going to matter more than chasing the shiny object. People are getting exhausted with people selling them dreams. Every month, we have people that come to us asking for help with their credit. And one of the top complaints that I hear consistently are people that come to us because they feel worn down by people selling them dreams. They sell these dreams with so much enthusiasm, but they don't deliver on their promises with that same enthusiasm or that same energy. And so people are tired. People are exhausted. They're tired of being sold dreams. And so people are not going to be chasing the shiny object with their credit too much longer. They're going to be vetting people. It's going to be a process of determining who is the right fit. People are tired of choosing the wrong person. They're tired of getting into programs that just want to $99 a month them to death. They're tired of being ebooked and masterclassed. They're tired of it. They want results. That's what they want. And the only way to get results is to have a real strategy. But developing a strategy requires clarity. You have to understand, where do I stand? Where do I want to go? How am I going to get there? So strategy is going to matter way more than chasing the shiny object, chasing the overnight success. Because anything worth having is worth working for, especially when it comes to your credit. You know, people want to know, what do lenders prioritize? People want to know, how can I get from here to getting approved? What steps do I need to take? Just tell me exactly what to do. That's what they want. And they're going to prioritize that over anything else. So if you're somebody that wants to get into the space to help people, you're going to have to really help people, not selling them dreams, but delivering on your promises. And then lastly, educators are going to dominate this space, because people don't need more dream pushers, letter pushers. They need people that are going to sit down with them, look them in their eye, and tell them exactly the steps that they need to take to get to the finish line successfully. Because let's be honest, most people were never taught about credit. I wasn't taught about credit. Were you taught about credit? I was never taught. And so when you don't learn things early, you make mistakes along the way. And people feel a lot of shame around feeling stuck. They feel like, I should be further along by now. And so as a professional, our job is to make people feel comfortable about that next step. And as somebody that's looking to hire somebody to help you with your credit, personal and or business, you want to feel comfortable. You want to feel sure. You want to feel like this is it. That's how you want to feel. And so educators are going to be able to put you in a position where you can be empowered and you can make the right decisions for you, your family, and your finances. Long term speaking, that traditional credit repair is not built for long term financial success. And so people are going to prioritize peace over confusion. And let me tell you, it is profitable keeping people confused. Confusion keeps money in these companies' pockets. It keeps you spending money with people that are not qualified. That's what it does. And so customers are prioritizing this now. Customers, they want to sit down. They want to get on a Zoom meeting. They want to see you face to face. They want to see, is this a real person? Artificial intelligence is advancing so quickly that you don't even know what's real anymore. And that's frustrating for many people, including myself. It's so annoying. So if you feel that way, just know that you're not the only person that feels like that at all. And so educate yourself, get in the right rooms, connect with the right people. The people that have the right relationships. Traditional credit repair is just, it's a money game. But when you're an educator, when you're a professional, when you're a consultant, you bring something different to the space. You bring experience. You bring strategy. You bring clarity. You bring results. Bottom line. Because confusion is not going to get people to the finish line. Confusion just keeps people stuck. And as a consultant, as a professional in this space, your job is to help people get long-term results. And so if you're looking into 2026, you're like, what is next for me? Just know that a lot is on the horizon for you. Things are actually going to get a little easier for many people, but it's also going to get harder for some. So it's important to be educated about the system of credit, understanding how to play and win the game. Because could you imagine trying to play basketball on a football field and then expecting to score and win? That's just impossible because you're playing a different game. So get in the game, understand the rules so that you can play and you can actually succeed. Because although the industry and the game is changing, you can change with it. You can grow with it. You can adjust and adapt with it. All you need to do is get yourself around people that are educated so that you can get educated. Get around people that have integrity so that you ain't got to worry about getting scammed or being taken advantage of. And get with people that have structure because structure is what creates results. Now, I've been in this industry and I've created and developed a lot of amazing relationships. And that is something that professionals bring to the space. They bring quality relationships. When people work with me and my team, they know they're going to get relationships with lenders. They're going to get relationships with professional consultants. They know they're going to get somebody in their corner that wants to see them win. Bottom line. And so you can change with the market as long as you're aware of what's changing. So, I mean, those are some of the predictions that I'm seeing, like the traditional credit repair is going to be a thing of the past. Artificial intelligence is going to keep growing. It's going to keep advancing, but it's going to keep spitting out a lot of information. And more people are developing that information, that paralysis, where they have so much information that they don't know what to do with it. And so if you're somebody that's looking to get into the credit repair space to help people, that's the space that you can step into. You can step into the space of helping people understand what their best next step is going to be. Because everybody's circumstances, everybody's credit, everybody's finances are different. And it's your job to guide them from where they are right now to the finish line. And if you're somebody looking to hire a professional, ask the right questions. How long have they been in business? How many people have you served? Do you have receipts to prove that? What are your processes? Do you have a system? What's your philosophy? These things matter. Don't leave it up to chance. And don't keep giving your credit over to other people that you don't trust either. And so, like, there are things that are changing, y'all. And they're continuing to change. They'll always continue to change. But the great thing is, it's normally for the best. So, stay encouraged, stay informed. The AI, lenders, all of it, stay close because it's the only way to really be able to maneuver through something and actually win the game that you're looking to play. But those are my predictions that I see coming along in 2026. And I'm going to be I'm going to be looking real close to see which one of those do come true. So follow along. You'll be getting those updates in our upcoming episodes. But I just want to thank you for listening in today, and I'll see you next time. Again, this is Jeri Toliver at Smart Credit Coaching. I'll see you next time.